Welcome back to Ultimate Alchemy, and to give you a break from the mechanization side of things, I thought we'd do a Thaumcrafty kind of episode. On the mechanizing side of things, I just put overclock generators. I'm not feeding this from a wireless network anymore. Consumes far too much power, and that's straightforward. It does produce diamonds regularly. It uses up lapis. We don't have lapis automated yet, but I'm just going to give you a break for an episode before we do that. It requires a lot of distillation kind of stuff, fractionating columns and stuff. Not too terribly hard, but again, it's more mechanized side of things. Everything else is working fine. I've fed this exporter with our system now, so it is actually producing diamonds for us. Let's see how many it's got. So they've been about, I don't know, half an hour, and we've got half a stack of diamonds. So we can speed that up, but we'll probably want to speed it up with extra power. So on Thaumcraft side of things then, in the Thaumonomicon, you're going to get to this area. So it's going to say, it's craft some scribing tools, and we've already put this down over here, but just for argument's sake, you're going to put a wood table down, and you're going to right click with scribing tools, and you'll get the research table. I put a bookshelf down next to it because the book says to, for a bonus and certain things. But in here, you're going to put a stack of paper, and we're going to be able to refill it with ink at some point. They're scribing tools, that is. So we're going to want to create theories, and this will then get us to, get further progress in the mod. So create theories, we can choose something. And this is entirely new for Thaumcraft. I only played Thaumcraft really. Last time I played was in 1.7. That was a long time ago. So yeah, we get some random experimentation, and you can pick one of two usually that pops up. So here we go. So reject from the fundamentals. So we won't continue more progress in fundamentals or draw any cards, but your current progress will remain. So I'm just going to choose experimentation again, and universal theory. Complete theory. And it looks like we've got some stuff to look at. And of course, I missed the entry in the first part of the Thaumonomicon that told me how to make the research table, not the research table, the workbench. So I'm just going to go and hopefully get some Salus Mundus in here, and then we should sort it out. It's basically just some Salus Mundus on a regular workbench. Let's see, Salus. Nope, still haven't got any. Okay, so I'm going to need to get more crystals, basically ground up. That's the only way. Salus. Is it the which crystals can we use? Can we use the smaller ones? No, we're using the larger ones. Fine. We can always get more of these through the portal over there. Oh, and someone did say a portal no longer has a constant drain. It's only per trade now, so that's actually quite nice. Much nicer than constant drain as far as having to keep up with it, because you can just let the mana pools fill, of course. And are we going to get a Salus Mundus out of this? Salus Mundus? No, not yet. It is a 20% chance, so we just got to, wait for it, really. And last one. Otherwise, I'm going to have to go and trade. Yeah, we've got some. Okay, so we want a workbench. Planks. Let's get rid of you. And we should have an arcane workbench. So let's just put it on this side, maybe. I do like these new effects. Those are just so nice. I'm sorry. It's just so nice. And then we're going to want a thermometer. Same as previous. It just needs a glass pane and some other bits and pieces. So let's just get that. Hopefully we can make this. Hopefully it doesn't need anything more advanced. And let's get rid of the sugarcane. Glass pane. And then we're going to need presumably different aspects of various bits and pieces like that. Let's see what it says. Can I actually make this without anything? Where did you go? Ah, you're still fine. Do I can just add crystals to actually do this? Thermometer. Looks like I can just add crystals maybe on one of each. Well, hopefully I've got one of each left. Crystals. Okay, let's assume I've got one of each. Blue, green, orange. And is that it? There's 7, and I've got 6. I'm missing yellow. Okay, can I just add this to here? Well, you just needed 6, hopefully. And it didn't appear immediately, but we did appear. So now we have the thermometer, which we can look at the world. And presumably this is similar to previously. Nothing new from you. Ah, we'll learn something new. So we're going to probably be looking at various things that are made of different... Yep, made of different aspects. But you have to be far enough away. And we can point at everything, pretty much. Right. So, has that unlocked anything else? Current stage 2 of 3. Complete. Okay, and now what have we got in this? Arcane stone brick. That looks like the infuser, if I remember rightly. So I need to study Essentia. Looks like a good place to start. And fine, no problem. We get a logbook there. And this shows us all the elements. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to study various things in the world. I won't do that on camera. So I'm going to go and study a little bit more. And with a little bit more research, we're able to make the Crucible. Right-clicking a cauldron with the Solus Mundus will get us a Crucible. In previous versions, like Thaumcraft 4, this used to be quite messy. Not sure if it still is, but it used to overflow and goop everything up, and there used to be problems with nasty stuff. So we'll see whether that's still the case. And we've also then discovered infusion. So we haven't built an infusion altar yet, but that will get there. And then Oromancy, I guess, is next up. But before that, one of the things you get as part of infusion is the recipes for the armor. Now, I haven't really got any armor at the moment, so we may as well just use some Thaumcraft stuff to get started. And so I'm going to put some wool in here. I think this is the recipe. Yep, makes enchanted fabric. And it uses 5V per. And there's 279 available, so I guess we can put some, well, not that particular crystal, but I made some more crystals, so let's just get some water ones, and it doesn't really much matter. Is this going to break it down? Can we actually get more by doing that by another method? Crystals. Water crystals, just pulverizing. Fine. Tectonic gets us 3. Interesting. Pulverizer gets us 2. Crucible, well, yeah. So I guess we'll just pulverize them and feed them in. I don't suppose it matters which kind of V is available. And we're going to want to convert all of these. So let's just pull that out. Now, is that recipe enchanted fabric? Is it going to need to be assembled on the Arcane workbench? Looks like it is, and it's going to cost 100 per. Okay, so let's make the chess piece. What? Oh, it didn't remove this. Okay, it's a little bit glitchy with placing stuff. There we go. Chess piece. V discount of 3%. And I guess I'm going to finish off the others as well. Where's that fabric gone? So the leggings, 97V, and then the boots for the final 4 fabric, which gives us the full suit, apart from the goggles of revealing, I think it is. Goggles of revealing. Are they in here, or are they in the previous one? That's the Naito recipe. Goggles of revealing. Where are you? Do we have the recipe in here? I think it just needs us to make 2 more thermometers and a couple of other things, but I need to find the recipe first. 1 second. Ah, here it is. I was just on the wrong tab. We need alchemical brass, and we need some leather and a couple of thermometers. Alchemical brass is going to be Crucible. And Crucible, we have to get Instrumentum first. Where are we going to get Instrumentum from? Nothing directly. I'm going to need to do some more investigation for that. So for the next step in crafting these goggles, we're going to need some Instrumentum sources. And the easiest thing I've found is black quartz shovels. That is going to get us 12 Instrumentum. Also, one of the herb aspect that I can never remember the name of. So we're going to get a couple of those. And we're going to want iron. Iron is the thing that gets transmuted. So let's get that in the way as well. I've put some lava underneath our crucible. And we've got this next to it, which I can flip around to refill this whenever we want. It's now boiling. So why don't we just put in a shovel into the top. 2 of it. Okay, and then we can just be able to drop our iron in, I would have thought. Oh, and yep, there's all the gunk I was talking about. However, did we get what we wanted? 4 alchemical brass. Not a great deal of iron. Maybe, oh, in fact, what happened was, yeah, I dropped the whole stack in. Probably should have done that. Yeah, you can get rid of it. And shift right click does that. And then this just cloud of horrible, horrible stuff drifts away. Yep, that's not going to cause a problem later. Absolutely. You definitely don't want to do this while you're indoors. Just a thought. You should be refilling though. Ah, yeah. It is refilling, just takes a little while. Okay, so we've got 4 alchemical brass. No After Effects. No, it's fine. And we should make some more. Yeah, let's just feed it in the crystals. There we go. So I want a couple more thermometers, ideally. I don't want to use up my original one. Where's my glass planes? There we go. And another thermometer. And then what was the recipe? Goggles of Revealing. It was in... we've got these new categories now, by the way, so we need to look into those as well. And where was the Goggles of Revealing recipe? Was it actually just in JEI? Yeah, it was. Arcane Workbench, Goggles of Revealing, 2 brass, 4 leather, and the thermometers. Leather... which we've got quite a bit of. That's fine. 4 of you. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Yep, I have got some weird things going on. Okay, so it should basically be a simple one. You need to unlock the research here, even though we've got JEI. JEI only shows you the total recipes, not the ones you have access to. So now that I've unlocked this, it should be available. And we should then be able to place the goggles in our head slot. And the goggles, in turn, will let us see what elements are left in Crucible. So we may want to refill that. There's nothing left in it at the moment, but let's say if we wanted... at least some more of that alchemical brass, but let's say we wanted it a little bit more controlled. So let's take a look at our black quartz shovel. Let's put it in here. And we can see what's left. So if we put one in, we can see we've used up 5. We've used up 10. And now there's 2 left in it. So I guess we've got to decide what to use. So let's just get in a couple more of those. And I doubt I'm going to need a lot of this. This does break down over time, of course. So 14. Now it's down to 4. Okay, and we're down to only a few left. But this is very, very useful for making sure you don't go over. And as much as possible, you want pure elements if you can do it. I'm not sure whether you will be able to in certain cases, but we'll see. And are you going to refill? Probably not until I empty this or until it breaks down. Oh no, it has. It's fine. In fact, let's just leave that open and hopefully that will work. So yeah, it's already broken down and hopefully there isn't much of a problem in the air around us. Yeah, it's breaking down. Okay, fine. So we've got alchemical brass, we've got a full set of armor, and we've got goggles. Okay, for Oromancy, all you need to go is really, really high because we've got flight, and really, really low. And you'll unlock both of these, which will let you complete this. And get us the Caster's Gauntlet and the V Resonator. So the V Resonator is an iron plate and some nether quartz and a couple of crystals and some V. Okay, so slowly but surely you're beginning to understand things. Fair enough. And let's head back. Can we actually complete this next one as well? Or am I going to have to craft one of these? Crafter's Gauntlet? What does a Crafter's Gauntlet actually do? We're going to make a glove to store V. Some Dusty Scrolls. It scraps how to craft wands. Yeah. And even the wand is impractical. If you need something to craft and ship the aura, it should be something appropriate, like a glove. Interesting. So why don't we just make that? Make a couple of the resonators, iron plates, and the quartz, and see where we get to from there. Just so we've got everything else. So iron plates. And nether quartz, of which we've got quite a bit. And some crystals, which we have as well. So let's just put both of those. Oh, we can't do that without. Yep. And let's just put all the crystals back in. And we can make a few of those. I'm going to make 3. One other thing to note, by the way, if you craft nether quartz, you can craft it into quartz slivers. Now, if you want to dispose of stuff in a crucible safely, you can use quartz slivers on it when it's got any of some, essential in it, or aspect, or I can never remember the right terminology. Anyway, if it's got anything remaining in it, you can use slivers. As long as there's an even number in here, like say 2, then a sliver will convert it into 1, and then the sliver will grow into a crystal that you can actually use, like this. So I think what we may be able to do is have some kind of thing that... And what if we just use the mechanical users? Can we actually do that? Why don't we try it? Let's see if this works. Mechanical users. Okay, and I'm just going to grab some slivers. Okay, and then I'm going to need a lever. And I'm just going to grab a couple of you because we're going to try and convert this evenly. And then I think that's pretty much it. So if I put the mechanical user down here, like that, and we tell it to be redstone on basically trigger, and we're going to use item on block. Is it going to need to be facing down though? Because it normally needs to be, hitting the top, which would be remarkably inconvenient if we need to, because then that's problematic. We might have to use a precision dropper instead. Let's try it anyway. So use item on block, upper left slot only, quartz sliver, and put a lever on this. Okay, so when that's used, it should start absorbing stuff if we can use it on the side. If we can't, we'll have to use a precision dropper or something and drop the crystals, the slivers onto it. Okay, so where was I? So let's just put something in here. All right, now will it absorb if I use this? Nope, we're going to need to use a dropper. But I don't want to waste what we've got, so we'll just convert this into brass. And the other thing we can do to unlock things, if we just release this into the air, it's not a good idea. You can see the flux is the dark purple at the top left building up. If we release this into the air, can I actually scan anything here, or is it going to... I'd like to scan some of this stuff that pops out, but unfortunately I've not got enough of it, and I don't really want to do it to release a huge amount of flux into the air, so, or taint or whatever it's called. That's fine. So precision dropper, it looks like it's going to be then. Can we actually do this reliably enough? This doesn't seem to have any aspects on it. Good. So if we do drop them in, it's not going to cause a problem. Precision dropper. And do I have the palace crystals? I do not, so I'm going to want some lapis, only a little bit. And we'll convert a couple of those over. And cobble. Was it cobble, that last one? Whoops, what was it? Precision dropper. Ah, it's just a coil. There we go. One precision dropper, and now are we going to need to change the mode of that? So I need a redstone torch, maybe, just in case. And we're going to want some blocks, because I just want to block to make sure that this doesn't get triggered accidentally. There we go. And then 3, 4, I think. Just remove one here. And precision dropper going down. I think. Yeah, looks right. And it's in deactivation mode. Yeah, let's just change that to pulse. And those are the only two modes. So take you away. Okay, so you can have some quartz slivers and then a lever. I guess we could just use a button actually. A button would deal with it because we're going to need to flip this up and down. Button. And let's just put that on instead. There we go. So if I press one, that should go in there and nothing's going to happen right now because, you know, it's not got any Essentia in there. And let's pop the shovel in and we'll get a couple of pieces of iron done into brass. And then let's push the button. Are you going to absorb? It might be a bit slow. Or do I have to right click it? No, I have to right click it. So droppers are not going to work either. That's somewhat annoying. Is there any way of sort of right click onto this block from the top? It needs to be sided. It needs to be that face of it. I don't know. Maybe if you know, put it in the comments. It's a shame. Okay, and let's carry on with some progress towards all of this stuff. We do still need to get Thaumcraft done to get to Draconium, but I'll give you a bit of a break from various stuff like this. There is one thing we can make in the Crucible which may help towards emeralds, I think. And that is not this. What is it called? Paper wealth? Yeah, so paper wealth you can basically smelt to make emeralds. Money, essentially. So I covered this before. To get gold coins, you need a numismatic press. Unfortunately, that needs emeralds, so we need some emeralds to make more emeralds. So the other alternative option is player teardrops, sweat drenched cloth, coagulated blood, and some green and paper. Okay, so player teardrops. From the ostensibly, it looks like you need to get purifying bath salts, and you can get that using Crucible, which we've just done. If you want to, using Cognitio, Air, Ordo, and Victus. They're not terribly hard to get. Air and Ordo can pure from the crystals that you get through the portal. Cognitio and Victus, not so much. You can get Victus from bread, but you also get some of that, the herb element I can never remember the name of. And that would have extra elements in the Crucible, which you've got to get rid of. However, Cognitio, which is the other one, I've just been making here anyway. You can just make some wood pulp using a carpenter, feed that into another carpenter that's processing wood pulp, and it produces letters that are blank. Why are you not... Oh, did I put wood in manually? I did. Okay, so I need to feed in more wood to get more of that stuff out. So yes, if we just hover over you, they're one each, so we can drop 40 in and get 40 Cognitio and get that done. However, there may be another way around this, so at least I'll try, and if it doesn't work, well, there's a drawing of a one-legged puppy. Okay, so right-click to totally not cry, right-click, and I'm crying. Player teardrops. Okay, so the one-legged puppy is just some scribing tools from Thaumcraft, so we need to be in Thaumcraft anyway, with some paper. Then we can get some cloth, I think. And just regular cloth, maybe? Cloth, yeah. And if I right click, we get sweat drenched cloth. Lovely. And then we want some blood. And the usual way to do this is over here. I'm going to want to maybe enable you. And then you sort of got to take a little bit of a pain here to do this. I'm going to stand inside your smeltery. We should take damage, hopefully. Although we may need something liquid in here to do that, which means I may need to disable that and then come back. So let's just disable it. And let's just grab some iron. It's because it's here. Yep, we got something to stand in. Let's whoa, we don't even need to go further down. Wow. Anywhere in the range will do. And not too long. Let's see how much we got. How much blood we got. 240 millibuckets. So I'm not sure how much is going to need the blood. Let's have a look. So if we use that coagulated blood, we will need just a regular casting table, not the basin. So let's just get that removed. And how much was it again? 160 gets us one of these. Okay, so that should be enough. Okay, and that should be in our system. Blood. Yep, we got one of those. So 1, 2, and where's the tears? There we go. We're going to need paper, and we're going to need cactus green. I'm going to put that in a farm. I'm going to need it in the farm, in fact. So maybe if we just grow that there. And it'll probably get farmed at some point. We'll come back to it. Anyway, we can get cactus green without requiring the farm by going through the usual method, ink sacks, that is, or through charcoal. Whoops, charcoal. I don't think because I'm working around this that we can avoid Thaumcraft entirely. The reason why I'm doing Thaumcraft this episode is because we can't avoid this. We can't avoid Thaumcraft, that is. We have to do Thaumcraft. It just so happens that some of the things can be made a little bit easier. Red, green. So we've got cactus green, we've got all the rest. So you can go in, you 3, and we've got paper in the system already, so let's give it a go. Paper wealth. And we can make some. Okay. Now, how much does this convert into? It converts into 1 gem. And we need a gem cast, which we need to make. Can we do it with anything, please? I don't want to use an emerald to cast. We need to put gold in there. We can use a sun crystal, and a sun crystal is easy. Yeah, let's do that. We do need the sun, mind you, but that's less of an issue. We can just wait for that kind of thing. And then I'm going to pour cast. So I'm going to need a couple pieces of gold. I've got some gold. I'm not sure how that appeared in my inventory. Oh, it's for the it was for the thermometer, wasn't it? Yep. And we can realign that to the bottom. And then we just need it to pour onto something like the sun crystal. So we need the sun. One other thing to note, by the way, with Thaumcraft, every night you get the opportunity to scan each sort of cardinal direction and the moon, I think. Unless I already did that just then. Unable to take notes. I need some scribing tools, that's why. Scribing tools. There we go. Let's make some more. Okay, let's try that again. So once for the moon and once for each quadrant. That just gives you more and more of these notes. So you'll see them here, celestial notes, and we can put them away. They get used in research, so they will build up over time, but it's useful at least to have them next to your research table, just in case you actually need them for the research. And of course, each time you go for the moon, there are different phases of the moon, so it will depend on what that particular night brings. Anyway, just something to mention. You're going to want to pile them up for later use in Thaumcraft. I'm not going to go too further into Thaumcraft this episode. We'll do it on a future episode, and again, we'll probably do more mechanized stuff next one. And because we're going to be getting to emeralds. So I just need to wait for the day to get that sun crystal charged. And we're charged, so we can pop that into our casting table. which is now glowing all over the place. We've got the controller set correctly with gold. Yep, and that should be enough to get this Gemcast. Gemcast will be in our system again, which is just rearranged my inventory. Where was I? There it is. Gemcast. Now we can pop that in. We don't necessarily need the ingot cast, but I'll leave that in my inventory for now. Then we're going to want to melt the paper money. That's going to melt up. I'm going to want to empty this smeltery soon, but not just yet. There's our molten emerald of 1 gem, which should then go into our system. Takes a little bit long. Well, in fact, I can speed that up. Yep, it's done. And that means should mean we have an emerald in the system now. We do, our first emerald. Good. So once we have our first emerald, we can use that to make more with a numismatic, whatever it's called, numismatic press. Need Vargia, that's straightforward. What else are we missing? The redstone servo and some electrum plates, which will just be some electrum, which we've got a few of. Let's just make 2. Pop them in the compactor. I've now attached them to ender chests, so they'll go straight back into our system. I've not put them back into interfaces or anything else like that. You know, I've not got any recipes or auto-crafting on them yet, so no real need. So that should let us make the numismatic press augmentation. There we go. And that is used on a compactor. Yeah, on a compactor that'll let us make various different things. And why don't we just make a separate compactor for this rather than reuse that one? Compactor. Yep. And we're going to want to probably upgrade it. So let's just make the upgrade now. Upgrade kit. 1, and let's get the second here as well. There we go. Craft them both into the upgraded version, and let's get augment. We can probably get the speed one as well. Well, one of the speed ones. There we go. So, compactor, and let's just get a flux point, because we can just do this separate to anything else. Flux point, and we can put it somewhere. Again, it's with our processing machines, so it doesn't much matter where. Let's put our compactor here at the bottom. That should do. We can put power on the back. Let's actually just reset this. There we go, power on the back. It's automatically connected. And now we just need to upgrade it and fit the augments. So there's the speed one. And where's my news? Yeah, there we go. Numismatic and the speed. And now we should be able to make paper money. Paper wealth. Okay, paper wealth now just takes us gold coins, paper, and cactus green. Gold coins are just gold ingots, and of course we've got some gold ingots, so we may as well use those. Alright, so we're going to get gold coins. We're going to get cactus green. And let's get the cactus green. 63 of you. Let's get some paper. There we go. And is it just crafting? Paper wealth? Is it just a crafting recipe? It is. And it's only 3 things. It looks unshaped, so let's just grab some of that. Is it unshaped? It is. So now I've just got 33 emeralds, or the equivalent of, which we can drop in here. And it's taken a little while to actually heat them up, even though this is on permanent speed up. So if you don't have a speed up, it may well be different for you. Let's turn on the speed up for this, turn on this, and out that's going to go into the system. And blood will probably hit it next and jam things up, but we can recraft to sort that one out. And emeralds. Emeralds? Emeralds, look at that. It's amazing. We may even craft a separate smeltery just to do emeralds, because we can feed the gold into the top. We can generate gold. Is that into the blood? No, it hasn't. Because it's a gem cast, so that's not a valid thing, so that's fine. And I can get rid of the blood some other way. That's not a problem. We can get rid of the iron another way as well, I guess. Yep, no worries. Anyway, we don't need to do that in the episode. We can follow it up later. So, we've now got emeralds. We can cross that one off, and we've got diamonds. So I will cross that one off, even though we need to automate lapis. With the skeleton skulls is going to be next episode, I assume. Let's have a look with the skeleton skulls. That's going to need casting of industrial grade evil. That is drops of evil, which is TNT and gunpowder. Hang on. TNT gets us gunpowder. What gets us the industrial grade evil? Just drops of evil. Any other way to get that? Rare drop from wither skeletons. 1% drop from TNT. We're going to need a lot of TNT if that's only a 1% drop. In a crusher, it doesn't say how often you get that. That may well be a 100% drop chance. Hopefully it is, because in TNT we can make with gunpowder. We get 5 gunpowder here. We'll get 5 gunpowder back, so we can craft a circular thing there that's just using sand. And since we can generate sand from a pulverizer, in fact, we've probably already got a sand set up somewhere over here anyway. We can generate the sand infinitely. So we should just have a system that occasionally produces a drop of evil, which we can then use to make with the skeleton skull. But I'll do that next episode, and probably the lapis automation as well. Hope you'll enjoy this one. Just a lot of miscellaneous stuff I know to start on Thaumcraft, just to get us into the mod. There is going to be a lot more later because we need to craft that dragon head, which is the thing we use to make draconium. So a lot of this is actually Thaumcraft or content tweaker. So dragon hide is resonator, that's straightforward. Dragon fang is milk. Dragon scale is crucible recipe. Eye is thermionic fabricator, but that needs liquid cores, it looks like, and Botania stuff, and the Thaumcraft stuff, void metal. The zombie brains, again, crucible. You see that's why we needed that crucible to get into some of this. And empower for some of it, that's not too bad. Dragon's breath. There will be an alternate way of getting dragon's breath because you can't go into the end. So there has to be a new way of getting it from liquid cores, it looks like. Yeah. Dragon fangs, milk again, and then it's a mirror on that side. Last thing is a dragon tongue, which is Botania stuff, it looks like, and again a mirror. And then of course we also need Spiritus, Alienis, and Tenebrae, and it's an infusion crafting recipe, so it's all Thaumcraft or stuff we've already got. So it's looking pretty good. We've got just that left, and then we're into draconium, and indeed the end of the game, or at least the final part of the game, which is, as you might be aware, it's the injector recipe for clay. So we've now got a lot of this that's on around the outside. That's our last one. And then we've got to get Nether Star, and that's going to be obviously creating the wither and fighting it. And then we can then duplicate the can we duplicate the Nether Star? Well, we can, but we need all these elements in the Crucible to do so. That's going to be interesting. Anyway, we'll leave that for future episodes. Hope you've enjoyed this one. Feel free to thumbs up, subscribe, share, follow as you normally would. Twitter @Greaterster. Otherwise, as always, guys, thanks for watching.